everyone. Today I'm going to make a presentation on coaching psychology for creative coping, the interaction of personality, stressful situations, and social support. I'm Haixin Lu from the School of Psychology and Cognitive Science, East China Normal University. The corresponding author is Wang. College students usually face a lot of stress. Therefore, how to deal with pressure becomes very important. Coping is the process of executing potential responses to the threat, including appraising the level of threat, choosing a response, and reappraising whether it is appropriate. Most of the time, people use habitual ways to cope with stress. However, those ways are not always effective and may even lead to more serious consequences. And creativity is a potential mechanism that has been shown to promote effective stress coping. Combining both of them comes creative coping. It is a type of coping strategy that refers to responding to stress in a different and positive way than before. Previous research has demonstrated that creative coping is an effective way of coping with stress. Therefore, understanding the factors that influence it can better help college students. So, this study sought to explore the factors that influence creative coping and to enhance individuals' creative coping skills through coaching. Triadic reciprocal determinism was proposed by Bandura, who argued that subjective initiative is a product of the interaction of personal, behavioral, and environmental factors. It emphasizes that individual behavior is influenced by internal factors such as perceptions, thoughts, and expectations, and external environmental factors such as geography, resources, and culture, and that the results of behavior can in turn influence personal perceptions and environmental factors. If we consider creative coping as a kind of behavior, then we can say that personal and environmental factors together influence an individual's creative coping ability, and the results of creative coping may in turn influence the individual's personal and environmental factors. Among them, personal factors include gender, personality, personal ability, and so on. Environmental factors include social environment, social opinion, family environment, and so on. We choose Big Five personality as personal factors. Big Five personality have 5 aspects. They are openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Previous research have found that creativity is usually highly correlated with openness. Some researchers use a person-centered approach to analyze Big Five with LPA and got 3 widely recognized personality types, that is, resilient, under control, and over control. This person-centered approach can recognize clusters of individuals with similar personality patterns. According to those researchers, we hypothesize that different personality types will have different creative coping ability. We recruited 191 subjects to complete the creative coping skill and the Big Five skill, and we also used LPA to analyze and got 2 different personality types. One type of personality is named resilient personality, which is characterized by high extraversion and pleasantness, and the other type of personality is named non-resilient personality, which is characterized by high neuroticism. LPA analysis and t-tests reveal that subjects in the resilient personality group had significantly higher levels of creative coping than those in non-resilient groups. And that means our hypothesis is true. Different personality types do have different creative coping skills. And we choose stressful situation and social support as 2 aspects of environmental factors. According to previous research, social support is most likely to come from individuals' parents, teachers, and peers. Social support has also been found to have an impact on an individual's coping skills and creativity. Previous research has shown that stress impairs an individual's cognitive resources. According to resource conservation theory, individuals will tend to conserve existing resources and use them to invest in acquiring more resources. and creative behavior often brings more resources to people. So, when faced with a stressful situation, we have fewer resources, and at that point, we will either conserve existing resources or invest to get more resources, and those who show more creative behavior are more likely to invest more resources and therefore also show more creativity. And then comes the question, how does stress affect the creative coping performance of people with different personality types? Based on previous research findings, for example, extroverted children show greater flexibility and innovation under greater stress, and others who are high in openness and agreeableness tend to be more adaptable to their environment. We hypothesize that creative coping performance decreases for both personality types when in stressful situations. In the case of resilient personality, the decline in creative coping performance was smaller because they are more likely to use their creative coping ability to invest and gain more resources. Many studies have confirmed that social support has an impact on coping creativity, and we found that teachers, peers, and parents were perceived to be the main sources of school-related social support for students. And when asked where the most perceived social support comes from, parents are mentioned the most, followed by teachers and peers. So we will include parent support, teacher support, and peer support in our study. And our question is, what role can social support play in acute stress-induced declines in creativity coping performance? And we hypothesize that social support mitigates the decline in creative coping caused by acute stressful situations. Resilient personality is most affected by the buffering effect of social support. The ultimate goal of this study is to develop an effective coaching program for improving creative coping skills. Based on the previous work, we believe that if the hypotheses are all correct, there will be an interaction between personality type, stressful situations, and social support. Therefore, we designed a coaching program for social support, which is the easiest to change among the three variables. And the coaching course design is based on group model, positive psychology coaching, narrative coaching, and narrative collaborative coaching. Specifically, we will recruit a group of college students as subjects. They will be randomly assigned to three groups, namely Creative Coping Group, Active Control Group, and Blank Control Group. At the moment of T1, they will complete a questionnaire including creative coping skill, perceived social support skill, and perceived stress skill, followed by a 4-week experimental task according to the groups respectively. The creative coping group will have a 4-week coaching class on creative coping, and the active control group will have a 4-week relaxing class, and the control group will have no classes. A post-test will be completed at T2, that is 4 weeks later, and the content of the post-test will be the same as the pre-test. A follow-up test will be completed at week 8. For the creative coping group, the main purpose of the first week is cognitive inspiration, that is, to help participants recognize their own creative coping ability and the social support that exists around them. The first week of the course was designed to focus on the group model of goal setting and reality, with the aim of helping members to better explore themselves and recognize themselves. Specifically, we will start by familiarizing the members with each other through games, followed by an overall introduction to the norms of the group and the overall schedule of activities. Then we will work with the members to gain a new perspective on themselves and what is going on around them, recognizing and identifying creative coping style and rediscovering support in their life. We hope that the first week will set a relaxed and positive tone and give members some inspiration to realize their unlimited potential. Their homework for week 1 will be use creative coping to solve academic and interpersonal problems encountered in your life and record the effects and experience of its use. And for active control groups, they will watch some light and humorous movies in this week. In Week 2, we want to help members practice their creative coping skills. Week 2's coaching will begin by reviewing and sharing with each other the previous week's assignments. Then comes the positive labeling activity designed to identify individual strengths and explore the various resources available to individuals. We referenced Rabin's design and set aside a time for the members to talk to each other about difficulties and problems they have encountered in their lives, and to brainstorm how they can recognize the social support around them as they encounter such a situation again. Finally, each person will be given a piece of paper to write a personalized list of their unique strengths, available social supports, and resources to be discovered. During this week, their homework will be taking a vlog of photos and to document their lives and focus on recording moments when you feel supported by the community. The first activity of Week 3 continues to be reviewing and sharing of last week's assignments. During this time, we want to further solidify their perceptions of social support. We will then invite members to participate in continuing a story. Researchers will provide the beginning of the story, which is to set up a main character and the difficulties he is experiencing. Members will then be asked to contribute to the development of the story until the main character has successfully resolved the difficulty. The purpose of this activity is to enliven the atmosphere and inspire members to think positively about possible creative ways of coping. After that, we will take out some cards with themes, events, and resources on them and ask members to randomly draw cards and use the contents of the cards to solve certain difficulties. We will also review the second week's experience revisiting session and invite members to role-play with each other and look at the problem from different perspectives. At the end, their assignment will be Ideal Day Idea, envisioning what a perfect state of the life would look like in your mind, both academically and socially. We hope that this week will allow members to actually practice their creative coping skills. In the final week, after reviewing and sharing the previous week's assignments, we will have members design their own maze with treasures and winding paths that symbolize their strengths, resources, and obstacles that prevent them from succeeding in becoming their ideal selves. This activity is a retrospective one, during which we want members to think carefully about their own growth over time, explore their resources and obstacles, and bring them to life creatively in a maze. We will then ask members to fold paper airplanes, each one symbolizing a period of stress and or obstacles. Members can throw the paper airplanes while yelling to release the stress. Finally, the members and researchers will write blessing cards to each other, and the researchers will summarize and share the feelings of group coaching with members. In conclusion, creative coping can be affected by one's personality traits, perceived social support, and the current stress situation. And we have designed a coaching program starting with social supports and hope that it will significantly increase the level of creative coping among college students. In the design process of group coping, we believe that it is more important to incorporate creative coping and uncovering social support into each activity so that subjects can spontaneously explore their own resources. At that time, we also designed a lot of interesting interactive sessions, such as Experience Revisited and Continuous Story, in an attempt to maximize the attention and growth of each participant. And that's all for my presentation. If you have any question, please feel free to contact us. Thanks for your listening.